well, all those who left the party, either they were sacked due to breaches in the constitution, etc., need now or have been given the leeway to come back to the party. One of them is Andrew Dankwa, legal practitioner, movement for change. I'll be asking whether he'll be going back to the party. So make sure you join us. And we'll be live from that in Sawam, Accra and Sawam Road, especially between the Pokwasi and Sawam stretch. And Nashoko will bring into us the live update on that store project as it is. All right, stick and stay right here. We'll have some great insight to all the things we'll be having, sports, and then, of course, we'll be having Johnnie's Bite. Stay with us. And so for this morning discussion, we want to ask you the question, what do you make of the situation, just in case you're in Accra, but also in other areas as well, the stalled projects when it comes to the Accra and Sawam stretch, especially from Pokwasi leading to Sawam, a lot of commuters complaining. The roads minister is insisting that significant crediting of the contractor's accounts has been made by way of payment from our own GOG account, the Government of Ghana account, but yet the contractor is not on road. We want to go there this morning, get to find out significantly what it means. But again, in a road or a road situation near you, but more so, the stored project, what do you make of it? Make sure you stick and stay, call us, just in case you live in any part of the country, roads in bad shape, just let us know what do you need that attention to be drawn on, which part of the stretch, and the phone lines are open. Please talk to us and let us know where you're calling from. Prince Nane York is watching us from the UK. Great guy, always a lawyer. We have a first caller. Good morning to you. What's your name?
Yeah, Roran.
Oh, Alaji Bini Yerboshele, how are you? Dasaba. Gomje. Please go ahead. Which roads do you think need concentration in your area? You are in Savalugu, aren't you?
Yes, okay. I'm in Savalugu. First of all, let me send my wisdom to Shamima Muslim and Honorable Benata Yafo. And Shamima husband, Alaji Alasan, and Chairman Ofoso Ampofu.
All right.
You see, my side, Tamale Savlugu to Bolga Road, the road is very terrible.
Okay.
The road is very terrible. They need to fix that road for us. Because past government, we all hear how they give the contract. And $200 million. And they said, even that what has been done, 1%. It means that these people scam us. So this thing we talk about. So we want to tell our road minister, they need to look about that road, Savulugu to Bolga and to Tamale. And the road is very terrible. They need to look about that road. And I'm not someone to Pokwasi road. You see, when I came to Accra, I see the road. The road is very bad.
Yeah.
So they need to look about that road and look how we can do to help our country, because the people who is driving the buses, they have been suffering for the road. So we need to check and pursue the criminals who pass and they give that contract to the contractors and they fail to work for the road. So thank you very much.
Okay, and so the Pokwasi to Amasaman, Sawam stretch, and that road has stalled. We know that the roads minister has indicated that money has been credited into the account of the contractor, yet that contractor is not back on road, on site, more constructively, so to speak. But what do you make significantly if you're watching us, other roads that you think have been mentioned and so will need immediate attention? We have from Takwa Joe. Good morning to you, Joe.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. Let me first of all send my regards to the MP, Sheikh Isha Salif Taylor, for the good work he's doing for the Tafa Israel constituency. My concern is with the Aguna Konta Apramdu Road. Very, very, very deplorable.
Okay.
Driving on that road is very, very, very bad. Please, looking at the Nsawam Pokwasi Road, I think the same problem, we have the same problem on the Apramdo Aguna Konta Road. If something can be done about it, I think it will serve a very good purpose in the Western region. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Joe, from Takwa. You're calling from Takwa, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Wishing you all the blessings that could come your way for the day. All right, Joe? Joe in Takwa.
Thank you. Probably have a nice day.
You too, bro. And then giving us the latest update. And, well, I'm saying good morning to F1 Antoinette of the UK. Great lady. And always all the things that need to be done. Tomorrow, we're coming down to the birthday of Delight Mojaka, who will be celebrating the birthday tomorrow in Nigerian Ghana. Great lady. Wishing you a birthday before tomorrow, so to speak. But great things has been done so far. And please, you can always call us always. We have other watchers who are watching us from Kase in Adan, especially from the Unity Temple, Kase in Adan, that is pastored by Pastor Benjamin N.K. Swansea, and they held a great event yesterday. And of course, Chairman Godwin Tamaklo was there, and Pastor Swansea, ICJC, Unity Temple. But we already have another caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Roland. This is Jose Benjamin, calling from Wanyoka Bodumasi.
Okay, Jaco, unge saminya?
Inge saminya on the money.
Oh, inge saminya wawe. Okay, miniji problem.
Roland, I think the same problem is happening at Komo Dumasi. If I could recall, since last year, they started the reconstruction of the road, and the quota on the road have been removed. As we speak now, all the stores on the stretch have closed, businesses have closed, and people are finding it difficult to even go on their daily activities. Potholes is now becoming a manhole. Is very bad. If from 9 going in the evening to get car, it's becoming difficult because of the road condition. So this one is a very big problem for us. At least if the authorities can come back, because the contractor has left the road before, and people are finding it very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Please. So please, if they can do something about it for us.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a nice day.
You too. So we have a couple of messages. Let me say good morning to you, Elizabeth Teku Jandu, and then the entire Teku Jandu, the Jandu family itself, for your loss. Wishing you commiserations within these difficult times as well. And this one is coming from Godwin, and the Godwin sending us a message that a lot of those need some attention, but particularly some other roads in other significant areas in the northern region as well. Majina says that Roland, a concerned citizen, has drawn attention to the poor state of roads across Bono East and then Afu regions. He highlights that key roads such as the Sunyain Techiman Stretch, the Jene Sampa, Sunyain KRC Road are in difficult condition. We know that a number of them also have been slated to be worked on by the roads ministry. You just have to go to the budget and then get to know whether your road has been captured for this latter part of the year as well. Good morning to you. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good morning, Roland.
Peter T.
My name is Peter T. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah,
how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm well.
Yeah, good. I think all the ladies have left you this morning. You're alone.
In the studio, yes. But
Roland,
now we're coming to us live from the Insawam stretch, or the Accra Insawam stretch, particularly the stored area around Pokwase, yes.
After Kukuti yesterday, she was busy. I mean, I was all watching her yesterday. This Ghana most beautiful. Hello, Laura.
I'm listening to you. Yes, Ghana was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me see this opportunity to say good morning to Alaji Okondo, a hard-working man indeed. And then also Alaji Moko, I think Roman Catholic Church, Matayako Church. Yeah, Roman Catholic Church. That is the Holy Family Parish. And then also Alaji Ava and Alaji Rao. Roland, I think that I don't want to be specific here because almost all rules, most of the rules in our country are very, very deplorable. I think that something needs to be done about it, especially when I was traveling from Accra to Takwa, Abose Road. It's so bad in such a way that if nothing has been done about it, I think that it is going to send a wrong signal to those who travel on that route. Because I learned that almost from January to this month, August, about 700 plus people have lost their lives because of road accidents. And I think that if nothing has been done, it is not going to augur well for this country. Most of money has been invested into our road development, a developmental project and resources. And we cannot continue. We need money.
All right. We have Mejina. Mejina, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please go ahead.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I even read your message earlier, but just go ahead.
Okay. I want to say that for root, it is very important thing that a key factor in governance that we can never talk without focusing on that. But I want to state that it's not only in Accra stretch that area that we are facing this kind of challenge. When it comes to Bono, as I indicated in my text, a road like Johnnie, I want to use this opportunity to tell the road minister they shouldn't mimic what the previous government did, because the Johnnie to Champa Road was awarded to a contractor who, according to the document, they never did it in the right perspective. They didn't pass through the right procedure, like awarding the contract, but just because of politics. So if they mean to do the right thing, please, they should help us through that route. That route is an international route, and it is affecting us. Come to Kenya, Kenya route. That is the place where Nimon is working. But yet people are suffering. A bicycle can even go speed more than a car on that route. It is bad. Kechiman route is very terrible, causing accident. When Chitu, Sampa, and the rest, it is bad. So we need much investment in road sector to be able to move our goods from the hinterland to the major cities so that people can get food to eat, people can buy whatever they want and transport it. But here we have so many challenges to the road. And I think I believe in Abuja, he will do the right thing. But he shouldn't say anybody who will do shoddy work on the road. And I think it is very important. People have been complaining. You see, they will do the bitumen on the road. It will not be three months, this month. The road has just been spoiled. It is bad. We shouldn't be wasting the resources like that. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you go to what has been said, especially in the budget, you'll find that there's been an outline of what roads will be done, etc. And then also when he addressed Parliament, he also made that significantly known. We'll apprise you of some of them subsequently. But more importantly, just in case you want to join us, you can always do so. TV3 Ghana always available. I have this one coming from a couple of you. So I just read, this is NewDay. NewDay Ni Atukwekwe, always experiences the Pukwasi Road, says, I'm kindly remembering the president of his promise to construct the Pukwasi Katapo Road. Recently, due to the bad nature of the Amasaman to Nsawam Road, most of the big buses and trotto use the stretch to connect to Eberi. And so that's where we have to go to the studios of 3FM 92.7. Johnnie Hughes is live with Johnny's Bite. So that's
enemies. Thou anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, the 18th day of August 2025. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Let me say thank you to the folks at the Pediatric Valley Resort. Amazing guys, great service, and keep doing a good work. Thank you so much indeed over the weekend. And also thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my outfit, 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. We're grateful that you always come through to support us so we can look dapper with the bespoke shada, so that we can stand confidently and speak with all the zeal and zest that we can marshal in us. Thank you so much indeed. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we are back, and tell them that Johnny's Bite is the people's bite. It is what is on the heart and minds of the people that we professionally put out here, and it's forensic indeed. I want to begin by thanking two and celebrating two great men of our land, one a cleric and one a man of many sorts and many parts. And as my big brother Reginald would always say, let's learn to celebrate people while they are alive, not when they die. And then we'll come and speak plenty English and plenty grammar, and then we'll be telling the world how good they were. Let's learn to celebrate people while they live. So let me begin with the founder of AUCC, board chairman of Media General, and former director of GIJ, now, if you like, rector or vice chancellor of Unimac. That would have been him. Former member of parliament, former minister, and a man of many parts, a father of many, the Honorable Kojo Yanka, who turned 80 over the weekend. And this is an IPR Colossus, a patriarch of public relations in Ghana, a patriarch in his own right, and his family, and to many others. He turned 80 and strong, 80 and happy, 80 and healthy. And the family says thank you to all who spent time to celebrate with them. AC and the other siblings who did a great work, thank you so much indeed for all that you did. And Grandpa says thank you to all of you as well. So the Honorable Kojianka is the first we want to celebrate on this great day, that he's 80 and strong, 80 and happy, 80 and healthy, and 80 and still impacting lives in many different ways. Honorable, thank you very much, and I call him my prof. Thank you very, very much, my prof. The next man is also celebrating 22 years as a bishop of the Anglican Church in Ho, the Right Reverend Matthias Badaho. 22 years of being a bishop, 22 years of episcopacy, and we're celebrating him today as well. We will not wait for when he dies. We will have to celebrate him. So, my Lord, happy anniversary to you, and we pray that the good Lord himself will continue to guide and shepherd you as you celebrate this milestone. In fact, we'll wrap up with the old at the Saddle College gentlemen. They were singing for my prof. We would find that video and toss it in as we make progress on the show. But while we find that video, I want to talk to us all about corruption. Just to mention that the contractor, I have good information that the contractor who is on the Pokwasi in Sawam, Pokwasi Amasama in Sawam Road has returned to site. I understand that this government has paid a backlog of some debt that was owed it. The contractor was not on site, but the understanding is that the contractor has returned to site. So congratulations to Adaklu Messiah Governs Kwame Agboja, was a member of parliament for Adaklu and MP for the area, and also minister in charge of our roads and highways, for doing that great work and for coming to the aid of the people. It is your work anyway, but that work was made to stall because we owed monies and we hadn't paid. But for some great reason, you brought experience and expertise to bear, and you have found the money to pay the backlog. And so congratulations to you and your team. But this morning, I want to talk to us all about corruption. And when we talk about corruption in this country, we only focus on financial corruption. And we will point accusing fingers at politicians. We will point accusing fingers at parliament. We point accusing fingers at the police. And you see the corruption perception index. But it doesn't talk about the average Ghanaian, the ordinary Ghanaian. I am not playing saint, but we are corrupt as a people. And I'll demonstrate to you. Why do you go to the market and you know you are selling palm oil, and you know that the palm oil you are selling is not genuine because you have added Sudan dye to the palm oil? You are corrupt. Why do you give the impression that you are selling fresh tomatoes to the people? Because you put a few fresh tomatoes atop a lot of rotten tomatoes. Even before that, you stack it with newspapers so that people get the impression that they are getting this load of tomatoes, but what they are getting is very, very small. You are corrupt. Why do you blend other things with pepper and give people the impression that you are selling pepper powder to them, or powdered pepper to them? You are corrupt. You are a teacher. You know that you have time enough to teach the children and you can complete the syllabus. You will not complete the syllabus and you will force parents to pay you extra money to teach the children in school and even when they are on vacation. You are corrupt. You are corrupt. No, you are corrupt. You work within the health sector. You know that where this patient has gotten to, asking the family to go and buy these medications that you know in your heart of hearts that you'll be using for another person. As soon as this person buy, you will still impress upon them to go and buy. And then when they finish, because you know they can't use the medicine, you actually then tell them to sell it to somebody and you get a small cut. You are corrupt. I can go on and on and on. You've been going for prayer meetings with a certain pastor. You've been, going for prayer meetings. He's dedicated all his time or her time to you, prayed with you, hoping and praying. You get the breakthrough and you go to another church to go and do Thanksgiving. You are corrupt. So corruption is not only about financial corruption. No. And I hope that as a country, we are able to find a way to renew our mind and reset our minds. I see the banter on social media where we're talking about the president traveling out of the country to Japan, Singapore. And the member of parliament is the one pushing that wrong impression out there. That is in itself is corruption. Because at the time when you said the president is supposed to be on a private jet in the sky, the president is supposed to be in church. And was actually in church, which was being shown on TV. So that the president have a double. It's corrupt mind. Does the president have a double? He doesn't have a double. And it appears that if the president travels in his brother's plane, his Jata plane, we have a problem with it. Even though we are not paying for the president to use his brother's plane, we have a problem with it. If he doesn't travel in a private jet and he travels on a commercial flight, we have a problem with it. It is corrupt mind. This whole desperation to try and equalize the bad things that were done in the past, it should not be, because you want the nation to work. And the government says, I am determined to save us money so we can use the monies to deal with some people, to deal with the things that the people need. And you are not happy about it. You are corrupt. It is not only about financial corruption. I will reiterate that you want costs to be cut. The Germans came to tell us to cut costs. We didn't mind them. Not just them, there are many others who are calling for cutting of costs. We didn't pay attention to them. If you talk to the economists, they'll tell you that because the government cuts a lot of costs and has refused to spend in many different respects, that is how come the economy that was so hot is now cooling down. Look at your inflationary figures. So if you wanted the nation to succeed, and somebody else is doing it, but because it is not you, you must find a way to make it look bad, even if the thing is not bad. You are corrupt. There's something fundamentally wrong with you. That is not how to build a nation. Because country broke, country no broke, we there inside. So you must renew your mind and brighten the corner where you are. We all have to put our shoulders to the wheel. If you have a government that pays attention to the criticism and the opinions of the populace and finds a middle ground to bring everybody to the center, you support the government. If you have a government that is mampamistic in nature, doesn't listen to anybody, they think they are all knowing, you will have to continue criticizing the government until they get back on track. I mean, look at the beautiful work that Stan Dogbe and his team did at the Independence Square. Sixtus was there. We had a whole team there. I was stuck in studio, but we're watching. Look, it looked so beautiful. Even though we were mourning, the setup was so beautiful, well organized, well structured. And then you have some people still saying, oh, because it is not from my party or Stan Dogbe doesn't belong to my party, then it is bad. It is not witchcraft, it is corruption. It is not witchcraft, it is corruption. Now, the police in the Western region, and I'd like to salute the police. They have done an amazing thing. Over the weekend, there was some robbery at Mpoho. Find me the statement, please. Some robbery at Mpoho. 100 pounds of gold and an undisclosed amount, according to one of the messages that I had, was stolen. Now, this is dated the 17th of August 2025, Public Affairs Unit, Regional Police Headquarters, 2nd D. It's a press release. It says, one suspect arrested in Mpoho gold shop robbery. Police on manhunt for others on the run. The Western Regional Police Command is on the manhunt for a gang of armed robbers who attacked a gold buying shop and robbed them of unspecified amount of money and injured one person in the Mpoho district in the Western region on Saturday, 16th of August 2025. One suspect has been picked and is assisting in the investigation, while strenuous efforts are underway to arrest the remaining suspects. The injured victim is responding to treatment. We would like to assure the public that the perpetrators will be arrested and be made to face justice. Signed by Olivia E.T. Adiku, Superintendent of Police, Head Public Affairs for the entire Western region. And we celebrate and salute our police for this swift action. Now, I'm sure you'll be wondering how this whole thing, this robbery went about. We found a video. Please play the videos for me. Watch carefully. So somebody enters, and for those of you on radio, maybe I'll do a narration for you. Somebody enters the office where this gold, no, put a video up there, where this video, where the robbery thing is happening. The robbery is supposed to have happened, and we'll see very shortly. In fact, as soon as the gentleman exits, the people walk in. They scatter the entire office, and that's when the robbery happened. And you could visibly see, forgive me, visibly see somebody with a machete beating somebody else on the floor after asking the person to lie on the floor, beating the person with a machete. When did we become this? When did we become a country like this? When did we become this cruel and this wicked? So there they come, they are entering, and you can see them wielding guns. They are holding guns, the whole gang, and they bring everybody in, ask some people to sit on the ground. So they brought this gentleman who was sitting outside the shop, and they asked him to sit on the ground. They will go behind the table and pull the gentleman behind the table and come and put him on the floor. and they ransack the whole place. They ransack the entire office. They are stealing people's hard-earned cash. So I am happy that the police have been able to find a suspect. And as I always say, if our police want to find you, they will find you. Unless they don't want to find you. But if our police want to find you, now that you have even the Queen of Kings in charge of the helm of affairs, oh, you will be found. And you will be dealt with. And we pray that they are found. And the assurance from the police that they will be found is gratifying indeed to know. And satisfying. They ought to be found. So they've asked the people to lie down. 3 of them are lying down. So they pulled the other gentleman behind the table and just pushed him onto the floor to lie down. Now somebody comes in with a machete, see, and is beating the people on the floor with a machete. He's beating them with a machete, hitting them incessantly with a machete. This is horrifying. This is very, very horrifying. A group of young people will not find work to do. See how they are ransacking the entire office. Literally messing up everything. You see continuously, the other guy who's holding the door and who's holding the machete as well, he keeps hitting the guy on the floor with the machete. No. 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 So this was the gentleman who was in there. He was the gentleman who was in there. 6 is there's one whose face showed. Let's put his face out there. There's one whose face showed. Some red guy, some fair colored guy, light skinned. Brown red. In those areas, they will call you red. A light skinned gentleman. No, it's actually a still photo. This is what we have become. This is what we have become. And you know that we will show you, we will not show you fake. We will not say what we have not seen. We will show you documentary proof and video evidence and everything else. You can only see it here. So his face was captured. And I believe and trust our police to do an excellent job for all of us. This is shameful indeed. Very, 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 very shameful. Very, 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 very shameful. And I pray that they are found so that the law will deal with them to serve as a deterrent to other people, not to follow their bad example. Because this is not good. Let's move to the courts, please. That's our final thing. And please find me the Honorable Yanka video with the Alan Tremanting and all the others singing for him. That's what we're wrapping up with. But the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic, I mentioned to you that the President has traveled. He's gone to Singapore. He'll go to Japan as well. But the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic has traveled. This is dated the 13th of August 2025, Acting Chief Justice. It says, absence from duty. I shall be away from the jurisdiction from Monday the 18th of August to Thursday the 28th of August 2025. In my absence, the most senior justice of the Supreme Court, His Lordship, Justice Gabriel Poaman, will act. Please accept my compliments. Justice Paul Bafuboni, Acting Chief Justice. So you have been informed. President is out of the jurisdiction. The Vice President will act, and Chief Justice is out of the jurisdiction. His Lordship Justice Gabriel Poaman will act. We'll play that video, but first, find me Comrade Mutale's video. Let's remind ourselves of what he said. We didn't pay attention, but now we have to pay attention.
If you are an MP, wallahi, and you take a dime on that constituency and chop it on the day of judgment, you will account to the people. You will. And that is one thing many politicians are not aware of. If you take a dime that belongs to the state or the constituency on the day of judgment, you will account to every single individual who lives in that country or who lives in that constituency. Will you be able to justify this in the sight of Allah? Will you be able to do that? The challenges confronting us in this country is corruption. The challenges. I'm not a saint, but at least you do your possible best to avoid it. I don't have money. What I have, what I get is my salary. And wallahi, not a dime of Tamale Central has ever touched my tongue or bought a book for my son or my daughter. Because I know that I will account for it. And our society today, if you don't have money, you have no value in our society. The moment you are given an appointment, your family thinks that their lives have changed. The moment you have a small opportunity, people think that you must provide. If you don't have, they disrespect you. And that has pushed several politicians to engage in corruption. That pushes people. And I am particularly worried. I am worried for myself as a Muslim. And I'm worried because which have I spent that I didn't need to spend? Which have I spent inadvertently or unknowingly that I shall account for it? That should be a profound worry. That should be a worry to everybody. But we don't seem to care. They don't respect you. Even your colleagues won't value you because they think that you don't have the money they have in this country. There are politicians who could not even rent a room.
3FM, the best.
And then they are busy putting up skyscrapers. Haven't they been told about the death of other politicians? Haven't they been told that there are politicians who had it all and they are no more? That is something that is profound heavy on me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to play saint. Wallahi, Allah will bear me witness. Whatever I say it genuinely. How would you be a leader? President Rawlings had unlimited power. He's gone. President Kufuor came, had power. He's gone. President Mills came, unfortunately by Allah's will, he's gone. President Mahama came, he's gone. Dr. Baumia came, he's going in 2024.
Well, we will play that final video for you, but let this be a proverbial reminder to all of us to do well for our nation and to do well for ourselves. Professor Abu Henson, good morning to you. And also to say good morning to Aurora, Commodore Topper of Abri Girls Old Girls Association. I know that you spent about 10-12 years saving 100,000 Ghana cedis just to make sure that they have a decent basketball court. And to all the Bugis old students and to all benefactors out there, please support the wedding because one person saved 12 years to get 100,000 to present to an alma mater. What are you doing for your school? It's a good question, no? Now, if you have lost a sense of pride for your school, watch this and enjoy.
One, two, three, let's go.
Happy 80th birthday to Honorable Kojoyanka. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Well, thank you again for joining us, and we'll be coming to you live from the Pokwasi in Sawambro. We do understand that the contractor could be returning to site. It follows significant delays, despite the announcement that has been made by the Roads Minister, Kwame Gavin Zagboja, that some substantial payment had been made into the contractor's account, working on the Pokwasi to Nsawam stretch of the Accra-Kumasi Highway. And we had been, over the last week or two, inundated with a lot of calls, concerns by residents in those areas about the poor state of roads, and significantly as content, and then also for our own editorial discretion, we decided to stretch the whole issue to other significant, important roads as well that will be needed by other communities across Ghana. We know that a number of them have been itemized by the Roads Minister, Kwame Gavin Zagboja. Say good morning to one of his key aides, Frank Fia, as well as Jude, a number of them doing some great work with him as well in the office. We have cash out. It goes with the short code *439#. Just in case you spent a lot of money over the weekend, you want to do some replenishment, you can't do so. Money will be credited into your mobile money account. Choose option 2, increase the number of tickets you have, become one of those lucky winners as always. And for royal viewers or for loyal viewers of TV3NewDay, we say that always make sure you join us on the streams as well. Many of you are celebrating your birthday, so we'll mark them significantly as well. And one person is Francis Stevenson of the Customs Excise and Preventive Service Division of the GRA, celebrating the birthday. Formerly was a principal collector for the Ghana Revenue Authority and subsequently rose to the higher ranks of the management of SEPS, and also taking on other roles even post his exit. And would want to say that thank you for again joining us as well. But significantly, please, just in case you're here, let's also apprise you of what we'll be talking about. By the second, or by the beginning of 8, we'll be talking about that important decision that has been made by the current leadership of the New Patriotic Party. And they have made a significant decision to make sure that all those who had been disgruntled, dismembered, disqualified, or perhaps those who by their own volition decided to leave the party have been given that moratorium to be able to return to the party. What does it mean? Who will be willing to return? And significantly for our discussion, we tend to have a lot of people. W1 Atagba of the military police of the Ghana Forces, always watching us live from Birmingham. Please make sure you share the stream. And for the Central University Law School, they have their president of the LSU, Central University Law, Nasser Ejin, wishing you a great morning as well. For those who have joined us on our stream, let's also tell you that, well, while you're also cashing out, make sure that you join us for the first discussion. And it's, apart from *439#, choose option 2, increase the number of tickets you have, become one of those lucky winners as always. For our first issue, we'll be talking about the response. It looks like very swift and strong-worded statement from the Attorney General of Ghana, and it's in a sharp rebuttal to that statement that was all put together and then issued early on by the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, so to speak, or the Association of Lawyers within the Commonwealth, so to speak, as well as other significant, as well as those for that would be England and Wales, subsequently those within the British Isle, etc. So they issued a statement, and significantly what they were saying is that the processes through which the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono had been taken through, they thought was undeserving, unconstitutional, etc., and so should be halted and she be reinstated. Those two statements getting a swift response, and we'll put that response back to the Attorney General, and so you find them as well. Helping us do the discussion this morning, Eduji Tamaklo is a lawyer by profession, currently occupies the position of being CEO of the National Petroleum Authority. Good morning to you, Eduji.
Good morning. Good morning to my cherished co-panelists, and good morning to your good self.
Thank you.
Let me just do this. You know, the past week, because of the event, there was a great man that we needed to celebrate. Unfortunately, because of the event, we couldn't. in the person of a man I'll call the rabbi, Mr. Chachuchikata. Yeah. We're supposed to celebrate his 50 years as a lawyer, an academic,
and a mentor?
A mentor. You know, everything that you need in a man, but the unfortunate events, and so he had to reschedule it. I want to use your esteemed platform to wish him the very best. The truth of the matter is that persons like him are the people who have inspired us to where we are. Even at his very ripe age now, he still goes to courts. I remember the last time...
He still does?
Yes. Yeah. The last time with him at the airport, he was going to court in Kumasi, and I was saying, oh, Dumega, you know, like, he said, look, I still have, you know, the strength, the sharpness of mind to practice. And so today, I just want to use this platform to thank him so much for what he has done for us. You know, for some of us who have worked with him that personal, I remember during the election petition, the last one, he would do the processes, I'll go pick it, go and do the filing. You call me, go to the library, look for these cases. For me, it was privilege. To even lace his boots alone, for me, was a great thing. And I just want to thank God for his life. And I'm sure there are many, many other persons that he had impacted.
All right.
Include myself. So
yes.
So myself.
He's associated.
Lawyer Apia Dankwa is also here. He's one of the... Is it disgranted? We'll be talking about that second, but it's a good one too.
Good morning, Roland. A good morning to Edwigi and...
You have prepared this morning for mischief.
Yeah, and just to say that I associate myself in entirety to Edwigi's tribute to the great man himself. What even touches me is his humility. As in for somebody of his stature, he's a man of faith, and he's a very humble man. And well, I don't know him as in personally, but somebody that I have immense respect for. When we went to the law school, we were unfortunate, we missed him. But we were taught by his brother, Fritz Chikatanda, a very great man. And so it's sad that our opportunity to celebrate such a great man had to be cast aside by the unfortunate incident of last week. Yes, and I lost two of the members, two of the gallant eight I knew personally. Mutala, as such an intellectual, another great man, very humble. And then Dr. Sapon, he called me his nephew. And he had a man of immense wisdom. I always say this, he is one man who could control a room without uttering a word. Ghana, I know, for me, the loss is not NDC's. I think it's Ghana's loss. And may their soul rest in peace once again.
All right. Dr. Bernard Tutubuahing, thank you for joining us as well. And good morning. Welcome.
Yes, thanks. Okay. Good morning to you, Roland. Good morning to my two lawyers, Edwigi and...
All right. And so in the second half, we'll be joined by Professor Smart Sapon. We know that he's with the Kumasi Technical University, but critically also does a lot of polls. And so he's now known as a pollster significantly. And so we'll be talking to him on the now open gates by the NPP leadership for those members to return. And all the names that keep coming up were many. But the most important one was Alan John Kojo Tremantin as well, for which Lawyer Apia Dankwa is closely associated with. Indeed, Solomon Owusu, who unfortunately won't be coming this weekend, so we can't ask him the question. He's traveled, so we'll see how that goes. But let's take you through what the statement has been from the Attorney General. But the Attorney General's response was to the Commonwealth Association of Lawyers, so to speak. And then we have the one also for England and Wales, that Association of Lawyers. And it says that it's in response to the statement by the Bar Council of England and Wales and the Commonwealth Lawyers Association on the suspension of the Chief Justice. And importantly, they say that the suspension of the Chief Justice is Triton law, and then all the processes within our constitution, the 1992 constitution, being followed, and having particular focus on Article 146, and then if they were not apprised, those who uttered a statement through the processes and whether there was prima facie determination or not, leading to where we are currently. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's just a sharp rebuttal or response, so to speak. It's been getting the traction over the weekend. And Lawyer Tamaklo, would you say that the statement by the Attorney General is to spite these two important composition or associations of lawyers, of especially the Commonwealth, England, Wales, the reputation? Okay.
So once again, I want to just thank you. I noticed that you mentioned my senior brother, Jude Agbamaba.
Yes.
A while ago.
Yes.
I'll be following up on the promise by Minister, my senior brother, Honorable Kwame Agboja, on the bridge over the Oti Adambai. It's a very dear project to me. But that said, I looked at the statement by the Commonwealth, Lawyers Association and the Bar Council of England and Wales. First of all, let's put matters in proper perspective. These two groups are what you call professional association. Like the way we have Boys Brigade and what have you. That is what it is. You understand? It is like how we have Ghana Medical and Dental Council in Ghana. It is like how we have the Ghana Bar Association here, Nigerian Bar Association. That is what they are. Now, when you read their statement, particularly the caption, immediately and without delay, that's arrogance.
What do you mean by arrogance, Edith?
That is complete arrogance. That statement is completely condescending. I think they should withdraw it.
They should withdraw?
Yes, and apologize to the President of the Republic of Ghana. What impudence. Like in a typical away home, they will say, "Border way."
Border way.
I mean, look at you.
Who are you?
Like, who are you?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? How dare you?
Is that not an insult or perhaps spiting them?
I mean, like, seriously? Look, first of all, President John Dramani Mahama derives his mandate from 57% of persons who were eligible to vote on the 7th day of December 2024. And of this number, he did an impressive 57%. That is the kind of person we are talking about. He is not the president of a girls or boys guide. He is not the president of an association of professional bodies. No. He is the president of the Sovereign Republic of Ghana. Whoever put, and that is why you see that the statement is not signed by any named person. Because I wish to address that person, like, personally.
You would have addressed that person personally?
Yes. Because that statement is so insulting. I mean, whoever put that statement together possibly needs self-respect. Never again are we going to entertain. And I'm restraining myself. Because how in God's name would a president who has taken the oath of office, please go to the Constitution 1992, at the back, oath of office for the President of the Republic of Ghana. Oath of office for the President of the Republic of Ghana.
It says, yes, that will be the President.
Exactly.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Yes.
solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana as by law established.
As by law
Why is this
established.
significant?
It is so significant because having taken the oath and affirm or swore that he is going to respect the laws of this republic, and guess who? Before whom he took that oath? Madam Gertrude Tokono, now suspended Chief Justice. And if you look at the tail end of the oath, what does he say? That he will suffer the pain if he disobeys what the Constitution says. It's in there.
Yes. It says, I further solemnly swear that should I at any time break his oath of office, I shall submit myself to the laws of the Republic of Ghana and suffer the penalty for it.
Suffer the penalty.
How does this come in here, Edwige?
Everything that has happened relative to her ladyship, the Chief Justice's impeachment processes, are all constitutionally sanctioned. The President, John Dramani Mahama, took an oath of office and that he will respect the laws of this country. So on what basis would this Bar Council of England and Wales, in this arrogant manner,
a very important association, what you say,
tell President John Dramani Mahama to immediately and without delay? How dare they? Look, you see, there are some group of people who don't care to even sell their country once it feeds into their interests. For 8 solid years, that President Akufo-Addo ruled this country. Was there any time that any group of people or an association had the courage to even tell him, look, even when the president removed Deplorable, a decision that the Supreme Court of Ghana subsequently described as unconstitutional, where was this group? Or Deplorable is not a lawyer, so he does not deserve the protection of the Constitution. England and Wales, yes, it's true, they don't have a written constitution, but they have rules and procedure to guide how they govern. That is what has ensured order in that country. In this case, every procedure required under the Constitution 1992 has been complied with. Guess what? If you read the statement, it is a very legal argument. How sophisticated they are, that have been canvassed in our courts. That is basically what they reproduced. The same sentiments. The Supreme Court of Ghana had the occasion to make pronouncement on the processes in this impeachment thing. The Supreme Court had affirmed everything done by the president so far has complied with the law. First, my brother Vincent Asefua was the first to go to court. And in a very interesting legal submission, and for some of us, we have always raised issues, he went to court and said A, B, C, D. What was the ruling of the Supreme Court on the injunction? Dismissed. Correct. Everything that the president had done so far is to ensure that he respects the independence of the judiciary. What would have been the position of the Bar Council of England and Wales, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, if the president was the petitioner? Imagine for a minute that the petition in these ongoing removal processes was triggered by a petitioner called John Dramani Mahama. What would they say? Due process, rule of law. In this case, the petitioners are completely distinct from the president. the president has a constitutional duty to perform. Sui generis. It's not a duty cast on any other person in this republic today. Only John Dramani Mahama. Like Pontius Pilate, you have the duty to conduct a certain thing. How come that in all of this, the Bar Council of England and Wales have not been able to cite any breach of any of our laws, be it the Constitution, a statute, or any rule of law or rule of procedure? It's unfortunate, very unfortunate, and I think the Bar Council of England and Wales must, maybe let me use their own words, immediately and without delay, withdraw that statement and apologize to the good people of Ghana.
In response to what they also said, they said immediately without delay.
Now, I am saying that immediately and without delay, they must withdraw that their statement, arrogant statement, condescending statement. But you see, I've learned something. In life, when you find yourself in a hole and your intention is to come out, one of the things that you must avoid is to dig further.
And who is in the hole wanting to dig further? I don't understand what you are insinuating.
Obanyansafo, yebunebe, yenkanasem. Listen, we were here when we were told that Her Ladyship, the former suspended Chief Justice, had gone to where? ECOWAS court, correct?
Yeah.
What's the outcome of that? There was supposed to be an interim injunction. What happened? She wrote to the ECOWAS court that during this vacation period, they must hear the matter. What was the outcome? She had been to the High Court, human rights. What was the outcome? In fact, the court described the processes that she filed as blatant abuse of process. Vincent Assefuwa went to the court. What happened? My own senior brother, Kwabena Bonfe and others, went to the Supreme Court with a writ, an association. What happened? Then she herself, taking the benefit that the Constitution guarantees her, yes, went to the Supreme Court. What happened? Which one of these processes has President Mahama interfered in? The Constitution, Article 146, and I'll conclude on this, is one unique constitutional provision that has received a lot of judicial pronouncements. If you recall, the Ghana Bar Association, carefully, seeking to circumvent this constitutional provision, do you know what they did? They issued a writ. The Ghana Bar Association, so an association of lawyers can also get the law wrong. They went to the Supreme Court to challenge the qualification, eligibility, blah, 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 of Justice Aban. You remember?
Yeah.
When they got to the Supreme Court, knowing that it would be difficult for them to trigger Article 146, they decided to use a writ action to achieve the very end of Article 146. Go and read the reasoning of Justice Pegan, Ejabe and Co. At one point, Justice Pegan even said, quote, that an association of lawyers, the creme de la creme, ought to know better. So, the fact that this letter is coming from the Bar Council of England and Wales, Commonwealth Lawyers Association, is a demonstrable evidence that even lawyers, regardless of the pedestal you put them, can get it wrong.
Commonwealth?
Yes.
England and Wales?
Yes. I'm so disappointed when I read it.
Significant association, important association.
And look at the timing of the statement itself. At the point of national tragedy, they decided to put salt in our eyes. These guys are insensitive. They have no respect for Ghanaians. We shouldn't entertain them. Look, this one, it matters not whether you are NDC or MPP. There are a few things that should bring us together. And this is one. It's about the sovereignty of Ghana. It's about who we are. Yes, it may give you certain political mileage today, but where does it lead us to?
Now, if you take a look at the second page and the footnote, it says that the Bar Council represent approximately 17,000 barristers in England and Wales.
Do you know the number of persons who voted for President Mahama? Do you know the number of persons who went to the poll in 2024? 700,000.
17,000.
17,000. That's not even up to one polling station in Ketu North.
No, but this is a representation
they should respect
of lawyers in England and Wales. Please. And then the Commonwealth Lawyers also is an international non-profit organization which exists to promote and maintain the rule of law throughout the Commonwealth. And so somebody will say that you go up there and they say there should be the provision of transparent rules of procedure to guide the disciplinary processes that have been taken against the suspended Chief Justice so far. And of course, the main phrase now is immediately and without delay. Reinstate.
Roland.
Why should this be cast into the bin and not be given credence? Lawyer Piadankwa.
Even if there were 1 billion people, the association, even if there were 1 billion people, it would not have given what they've done any legitimacy.
Why not?
It would not, because Ghana is a sovereign nation. We are sovereign. I know my brother Eduji said that they should apologize to the president of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. In fact, I would say they should apologize to the people of Ghana, because President Mahama is not using his powers. President Mahama is using powers that the people of Ghana give him. In the spirit of the oath that he took, the oath was beyond the oath being to always show allegiance to Ghana. That oath also said that he's going to protect, he's going to defend, he's going to preserve the Constitution of Ghana. That's what President Mahama swore to. He swore to protect, to defend, and to preserve. What the Bar Association or the Council of Wales and England, what they are asking is that, or what they are ordering, I can't believe they order the President of Ghana. They have the cockroach audacity, the temerity to order the President of Ghana. What they are attempting to do is, or what they are doing is to order the President of Ghana, attempt to order the President of Ghana to breach the Constitution of Ghana. What they are doing is an attack not only on the values and principles of Ghana, but also on the Constitution of Ghana. Because, see, the process of Article 146 is a reflection of one of the abiding principles that underpins our Constitution, the principle of probity and accountability. A firm belief that nobody in Ghana, irrespective of the position you hold, is above the Constitution of Ghana. And that's in line with our desire to create the right political culture. The right political culture that, beyond it tolerating diverse views, will also hold political leadership accountable. Essentially, that's the essence of Article 146 of our Constitution. Also, they are attacking the spirit of Article 146, because what Article 146 essentially did was to affirm the independence of the judiciary. And that's why, if you read the article intently, you can make an argument that the President of Ghana does not really have a discretion in the application of sin once the processes that Article 146 governs are triggered. Because they're asking that he overturns the suspension of the CJ. Not so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now that's a suspension is governed by Article 146 what?
10.
What does Article 146 say?
It says that where a petition has been referred to a committee under this article, the President may, and in the case of acting in accordance with by warrant signed by and suspend the Chief Justice?
No, so the may, so you jumped every, so the president may, the president
may, in the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State.
Acting in what?
Accordance with the advice of the Council of State.
Where the Council of State have advised the president suspend, does the president have the power to say, no, I will suspend?
He said may.
He says the president may suspend. Read it again. Okay. The president may suspend.
Where a petition has been referred to a committee under this article.
Yeah.
The president may, in 10A, in the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by warrant signed by him.
Acting in accordance. So can the president act outside of the accordance of the Council?
Is that what you're
saying? Can the president act
whilst the Council of State has advised?
So if the Council of State advises him do A, can he do B? Per the terms of.
He said me.
No, he says that acting in accordance. So it may because he is not mandated to suspend. But once the Council of State advise, he cannot do contrary. Once the Council of State advises the president, he can't do contrary. You get a picture. Also, if there's one thing that, in my opinion, has been exposed by this whole CJ saga, is the fundamental lack of principle, the hypocrisy, the duplicity by people that you ought to expect a certain level of fidelity to principle from. So when Charlotte Osei, when these same processes was being applied on Charlotte Osei, Roland, then where this council that feels so powerful that they can order the president of Ghana. They're so powerful.
I don't understand.
I said when this same Article 146 was being applied on Charlotte Osei, the same Article 146 was being applied on Charlotte Osei. This council, this England and Wales Council, that think that they are so powerful that they can order the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Ghana, the president of the republic. They can order him. They can order him to disobey, to flout, to breach our constitution. They are so powerful. Where were they when the terms of Article 146 was being applied on Charlotte Osei? Yeah, so they are as unprincipled as the New Patriotic Party.
No, we'll come to the New Patriotic.
Yeah, I'm not talking about.
Put the cat
listen, I'm not putting the cat before the issue is for us to discuss and analyze this, how the UK, how the Wales and England, the Harbour Association, the council, had the cockroach audacity, had the courage to order the president of Ghana. And this is not the first time Article 146 has been triggered. Indeed, in 2017-2018, it was triggered on the Electoral Commissioner of Ghana. You understand? I'm asking that in line with principle, with fidelity to principle, where were the what's called England and Wales Council, Bar Council? And I'm saying that in the manner that they've handled themselves, they are unprincipled, like the New Patriotic Party.
How can you say there could be Ghanaians who are members of these Commonwealth as well as the Bar Council?
In fact, that's even worse. Because if you're a Ghanaian and the Constitution employs you to defend the Constitution at all times, and you support this blatant, this call, this order on the President of Ghana, on the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ghana, to breach the terms of the Constitution of Ghana against the clear terms of the oath he himself took. An oath not only to preserve the Constitution, but also to defend and protect the Constitution. Now you have the audacity of a cockroach.
Audacity?
The audacity of a cockroach to order the President of Ghana to breach our Constitution. And I'm saying that because with their failure to state a position when Article 146 was being applied on Charlotte Osei, they've shown a fundamental lack of fidelity to principle. And I'm saying that they are behaving like the MPP is behaving. Because the MPP, you see, one of the problems...
We haven't come to the MPP.
I'm not talking about the MPP.
Professor Smasapon will be joining us on
I'm not talking about the MPP. I'm talking about the CJ issue. Because you see...
Because you are one of the significant members who should return to the MPP. So
listen,
we'll come and answer that
yeah, you ask me and I'll give you an answer. But the point I'm saying is, it should be a worry where one of the major big political parties in Ghana show a clear regard for principle. Because when Charlotte Osei when the processes to impeach Charlotte Osei in 2017, 2018 were triggered, there was an impression, and an impression that I believe was the case, that the whole exercise was being fooled by elements within the MPP. Indeed, the president of Ghana, His Excellency, the former president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, said when he was the one taking all, as in applying 146, that he was a mere conveyor belt. That's what he said. So President Muhammad, he's not a conveyor belt. President Muhammad, he's not a conveyor belt. You said that you're a conveyor belt. 146 was, but after President Muhammad, he's not a conveyor belt. You understand? And one problem that the CJ is facing is the attempt by the MPP. In fact, I think they've succeeded to make this process, which ought to be an affirmation of the principles of probity and accountability, which is one of the abiding principles that underpins our constitution. They've managed to turn this into a partisan war. The MPP has managed to turn this into a partisan war. My brother Eduji mentioned some names, people who have taken this matter to court. They are Ghanaians, but the point is that they lose the perception war when almost all the Ghanaians taking this matter to court are serious senior MPP members.
In the eyes of the public.
Yes, and the manner in which they switched their positions on principles. Because if in 2018 you did not see an application of Article 2, 2018, if in 2018 you did not see the need to advocate for transparency, even in 2018 you did not see the wisdom in pushing for an agenda against an amendment of that bit of the Constitution that says that every process should be held in camera. And then in 2025, suddenly you get a voice to say that, listen, it should be transparent. Then, Roland, would I be wrong if I say that you are unprincipled? And that's the basis for my comparing or likening the actions of the Bar Council of Wales and England to the MPP, because they are both unprincipled. And they are both unprincipled. Why are you afraid to say they are both unprincipled? You understand? So, listen, I'm telling President Mahama that order, that clear lack of respect is not just on him, it's on all of us as Ghanaians. And he has the support of the people of Ghana. He should stay true to the oath he took. He should continue to show commitment and fidelity to his desire not only to preserve the Constitution of Ghana, but to defend him and to give a loud signal that nobody, whether they are 1 billion, whether they are 2 billion, can make him or any Ghanaian to defy the Constitution that we ourselves, we the people of Ghana, the sovereignty of Ghana, took upon ourselves. And so, listen, we should all stay calm. Let the processes continue. At the end of the day, what is going to happen is that the principle of probity and accountability that is being exhibited will be made stronger by this process. I'm done.
All right. Your own observation so far, the bombs being thrown from the corners of the associations, especially on the subject of the suspension of the Chief Justice. And then also now we have the Attorney General responding swiftly. And what the connoisseurs out there are saying, that this is an important association in where they are, their jurisdiction, just don't have the power to be able to order the president, who they say has undertaken due process, regarding what the Constitution says?
So, good morning to Ghanaians, good morning to viewers. Yes, one question that triggers my mind, based on the order that the Wills and Commonwealth Lawyers Association and then the Bar Council of England has thrown on Ghanaians, and specifically to the president, is as to whether they have the jurisdiction, these two associations actually have the jurisdiction to make this order or call to us as a sovereign state. And does the call or order intends to interfere with the legislative and then the executive wings of government? To me, yes, it is true that Ghana is part of the Commonwealth Association, but we also, as it is, have our independence. We have our sovereignty. We have laws in this country, that makes us different from other countries. So when it gets to this point where, certain decisions have been taken by the executive based on the Constitution of Ghana, and an association, which, let me say, an overseas association, comes up with a kind of order, I think that is quite unfortunate to the people of Ghana. But, Roland, I reading all these things, I see it as an advice or probably a recommendation, all right? And what I mean here is that I think that ADG made it clear, citing certain instances where, certain appeals have been done, by certain independent bodies and the suspended Chief Justice herself. And all these things, the courts, seems to have ruled, against some of these petitions, all right? And you probably may want to find out as to whether, the concerns that have been raised, are something new, something that, certain things that the two associations have said differently from what we know in Ghana. I mean, when you go through the concerns that have been raised, all right, I think there are about 5 points concerns. And all these concerns are concerns that have been raised, previously, and it is not a different thing from what we have read in the news, all right? The first one is the issue of prima facie, all right, where the two associations believe that it is a breach, and that certain steps should be taken, with regards to the prima facie aspects of the suspension. They have also made references to Article 146, which of course we know, that a lot of people have spoken, analysts have spoken, lawyers have spoken, and probably given further interpretations of Article 146 and all its details. And so for me, it suggests that, yes, it is something that Ghanaians have actually discussed, and probably the courts, the committee, all other, institutions on this matter actually know, and probably that is what is equally guarding their judgments and all that. The third one has to do with the issue of the investigative committee, permitting the petitioner to use witnesses, all right? This issue has also come to the fore, you know, and what has happened. And so for me, I believe that going forward, I think that if the processes and procedures that, you know, are guiding the settlement of this particular, you know, myth, I think that if there is anything that should be done, the due processes should be followed, all right? And once it doesn't contravene with the rules and regulations, you know, the laws of this country, I think that, yes.
So in effect, you're saying that these two statements and bodies who have, well, issued the statement, they should be disregarded because due process is already being followed.
Yes, what I'm saying is that, you know, looking at the concerns, the concerns are not quite different from what the things that we know, the issues that people have raised, you know, since the beginning of this particular, you know, issue, all right? And so I was rather expecting that if there was going to be a call, if there was going to be an order, then probably the Commonwealth Association could have, you know, come back, the Commonwealth Association of Lawyers, okay, should have come to us to probably point certain things to us, which of course we don't know, or which probably could help us, you know, speed up this issue, you know, and going forward. But if you are repeating the very things that we know, then of course, especially in situations where the courts believe that there are no cases regarding all these facts, then of course, I don't think that you have done us any good, you know, as far as this matter and this call
is related,
is concerned. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a couple of comments. This one, Kofi Kwatingamen in Kukru says, please tell Lawyer Pierre Dankwa to refer them as an association and not council. Well, there are two of them, actually. There are associations, irrespective of how we want them to. And then Ameto Kwame also said, well, if you take a look at all the things that have been undertaken, you can clearly see that we have to disregard their statement as it were. And critically also, what needs to be done to ensure that the right things are. We'll be moving on to the MPP, but before we do that, also we'll just read three more messages. It says, I can understand the British Bar Council. Why? Because they do not have a well laid down written constitution which guides their actions and inactions, to which they must abide dito. Unlike our constitution from 57 to 92, clearly, they lack appreciation of ours. Now, clearly, the British Bar Council, they do not have an appreciation of our circumstances, relatedly. And Lawyer Kakri, someone sent me one, I thought that
my senior in home.
And Lawyer Kakri, good morning to you. I know you're watching. He says he sent me a clip or a screenshot of Franklin Kujo of Imanispo. He says, so who are the Commonwealth lawyers? What do they want? Did they hear of Sal? And then he added Koklo. Okay.
Do you know Koklo?
Yeah. It's,
do you know Koklo?
Yes.
What is Koklo?
Is it a cock or chicken?
Well,
let's so let's move on to the MPP. They've issued a statement thoroughly indicating that now the door is open. Amnesty and adherence to party disciplinary protocols. And this one is a National Council emergency meeting decision granting a general amnesty to all party members who have been suspended or whose disciplinary cases are currently pending before the appropriate adjudicatory bodies. And so the notice says that the director lifts all such suspension and waives any ongoing processes against affected members. Now, it also goes on to say, for members who have forfeited their membership, are required then to submit a formal application to the National Secretariat for reinstatement. Now, upon that reinstatement, they then will remain ineligible to contest any internal party election until a mandatory 2-year period has elapsed. Okay, so if you join, you cannot contest anything. All right. This measure also reflects the party's unwavering commitment to fostering internal cohesion, strengthening solidarity, and preparing collectively for the political task ahead. Now, as a result of that, the party leadership at all levels are hereby, or is hereby strictly advised to refrain from any arbitrary suspension of members. All disciplinary matters must be handled solely in accordance with the procedures, principle, and due process provisions expressly enshrined in the party's constitution. Well, there are significant questions that could arise. Even myself, I'm deducing from the statement signed by Dankwa Smith Bate, acting national chairman. I have Professor Smart Sapong to help me in the next 5 minutes. Professor Smart Sapong.
Yes, Roland, good morning.
You thoroughly read the statement, but would you say that the statement has a caveat somewhat, that even though the amnesty is supposed to be an open arms amnesty, it still has restrictions, is that not it? So members are supposed to come, and why would they want to join the MPP or rejoin the MPP when they cannot actively participate in leadership or contestations as far as leadership positions are concerned, or play significant roles? And based on where you are, the hub of the MPP in the Ashanti region or not, you think this is really an SOS, an open arms amnesty so-called statement to all members who are disgruntled and so left the party significantly?
Well, Roland, good morning, and good morning to the team in studio and our cherished viewers elsewhere. I think the party is at a state where unity is very, very vital. If you hear calls from the flag bearers as they pick their forms, you hear all of them calling party to unity or to unite, and that is key. I think what the acting chairman has done is to add up to the call. And you see, he lists two categories of people who left on their own, declared they've left the party and all those things are one category. And then those who are undergoing some form of suspension or disciplinary action as also another group of people. The difference is that for those who left on their own or resigned or whatever, issued a paper to resign and those things, when they are reinstated or they come formally through a letter, they'll be received back into the party. Only that they would have to wait for 2 years before they'll be eligible to contest. I think that is, for me, quite fair because, you know, parties don't exist, or members of parties don't exist to be elected or become leaders only. You must first be a member and demonstrate love and tolerance and an ability to be on the side of the party through thick or thin. If you leave because it was a thick time and you come back straight into a contest, I think then your focus is largely beyond just being a member. You only want to come and contest. And so let those people come, participate in party activities. 2 years is not too long a time in my view. They can still put themselves up for elections after the 2 years. Okay. And for those going through some form of disciplinary action or suspension, generally by the party, I think if they are really party members, this call welcomes them. And they must avail themselves to the unity process the party is going through so that the party can achieve the aim of uniting all its members ahead of the processes earmarked for this year and early next year and all those activities before 2028 elections. For me, political parties need more people, and all steps that are used to bring on people, whether disgruntled or floating voters, as others call them, all those things, should be welcomed.
Okay. Now, your response, I get it that, or do I then have to deduce or do the deduction that because you tend to interact with the general political population of all sides of the political divide, and in this instance where we're talking about the MPP, you would say that the unity is important. That's what you're saying. And then also they need this also to bring everybody together. Now, if people left the party due to maybe being disgruntled, or undue processes that they were taken through leading to them dismembering themselves or being suspended, etc. Do you think inviting them alone to be members would be satisfactory enough when they know that they were members but were still disgruntled? So if they are just going to be members as they rejoin, what would then be the significance?
Well, it will even be in their own interest not to come straight into a contest. Then it means all the thinking is contest. Meanwhile, political parties, as we know, are not supposed to be internally contest-minded. It is externally against your competing political parties. That's where you become all out for a contest. Internally, sometimes you must be level-headed. You must join in a consensus building. You hear comments like, and let me just check this one. I saw a video of the former regional minister for Puno reiterating that which you hear them say: no A, no vote. I don't want to mention anybody.
Who is that? What's the name of the person?
Honorable Asumachemi.
Oh yeah, I think I saw the video. I think he said he supports Ken.
Yes, he does. Okay. But his comment, the one I pay attention to is the comment that says no Ken, no vote. I don't know. It is not supposed to be internally so.
Okay.
It is supposed to be externally. So, for example, you have a flag bearer and you are competing against the NDC or the CPP or any other political, then you can say, no, not your candidate, then no vote. But if internally you take the position that, unless maybe it's just one of those things they say, but even if it is one of those things, the more you say those ones, the more you divide your party internally. Okay. I think that they should be minded the way they go about things. It's all about a contest. Come in, play your role as a member of the party. In fact, there are more members than those seeking to lead. In every system, there are more members or audience than leaders. Okay. So let us not be too much of a contest, especially for those who are coming in after they themselves willfully resigned. For those who are undergoing some form of internal suspension or all those things, as for them, it's like nolli prosequi. Their case has just been discontinued, and so they can fit into any contest whatsoever. And it is better to stay and go through a disciplinary process even when you are disgruntled than to say, yes, there are disciplinary process to address my grievances, but I'm resigning, I'm going off. Okay. I think that is where the distinction is drawn.
It's very interesting, Aduji. And you take a significant, perhaps listen to Professor Smart's point. You say, well, if people are ordinary members, they don't just leave because they are not seeking any leadership position. They are just satisfied to be members. But people get disgruntled because maybe they support some other significant other who is aspiring to leadership. They don't like the internal controls and rules within the party, or want to aspire to leadership positions, so they feel that they haven't been given significant room. And so if those significant people are supposed to be brought back, it presupposes that, well, they are being cocooned in a certain way until after 2 years, right? So that they don't perhaps continue with where they left off.
What we all need to appreciate is that political parties have the freedom to adopt whatever strategy that they consider is, like they deem fit. Now, when you lead a political party, in the specific case of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, my learned friend Justin Kodua, my friend Leonard Nanabi and co. And you go into an election where the result or the outcome of the election shows that in 4 regions of this republic, MPP does not have even 1 member of parliament. And that is almost 53 seats, no MP. Now you have a situation where 5 regions of this republic, MPP has only 5 MPs out of 45. If you look at those kind of numbers, you need to do very deep introspection. And so it may well be that after the Okwe report, maybe one of the recommendations in the Okwe report is to give this amnesty with caveats. And I've been asking ever since I saw the report, the release, whether or not the likes of the respected Paula Foku are welcome in the MPP today, whether the likes of Sami Crab are welcome in the MPP today. I understand there was a time that the MPP said they have suspended or so the membership, a foundational member, like my own great uncle, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, ambassador, whether he's among those who they are giving the amnesty to. I mean, it's quite curious. If you are looking at it in terms of political strategy, what exactly is the strategy supposed to achieve? What outcome after this release you expected to know? Look, and I say this with all humility. Look, when you go into an election and you come out with this outcome, you'd want to try as many things. For instance, the bottom-up approach. You see, when you go into an election and you lose with this kind of numbers, if you are not careful, you have a meltdown.
What do you mean?
Yes. If you are not careful, you have a meltdown. And in that situation, too many things will be running through your mind. Because it's so curious, after 32 years, you are a scientist, an academic, you do research. For the last 32 years, when have you seen a political party elect a flag bearer before knowing who the party's branch executive will be?
Well, Per, this could be the first time. It hasn't happened yet, but...
No, but in social research you have done, don't you start from the known to the unknown? Or you start from the unknown to the known? You are a researcher. Kindly help me.
So what normally happens is that even in academic teaching, right, you start from the known to the unknown. Yeah. And sometimes when the concept is very abstract and does not actually communicate, you can use a theory, probably an unknown theory, to explain yourself.
But it's not an explanation.
No, I'm only...
It's actionable.
Yeah.
You see, when the thing is actionable, theorizing becomes problematic. What you can do, and like we do like lawyers, when a party, a client comes to you and present the facts, you build a case theory. But you build a case theory based on structures, known structures. In this case, case law. So the case law is something that has happened already. Principles have been established. And then based on that, you create that foundation. Yeah. Now, if you have a situation where a political party goes into an election and comes with this outcome and says that the best strategy for me, listen carefully, is to elect the flag bearer. That is the top. Now, before I'll look for the foundation. Because we all agree that the building block of all our political parties are the branch executives, then the constituency executives, then the regional executives, national executives. Now you have a situation where you've gotten the head, and now you are now going to look for the workmen. How is it backed by social science? How is it backed by social, engineering? We must agree. I am interested in having a formidable political party. A political party that will put the NDC on its toes. Because, you see, we need that for the sake of Ghana. I'll be happy if the MPP collapses. Yes, I will. But is that the best for Ghana? Certainly not. Look at the kind of opposition we gave the MPP from 2017 to 2024. Solid. I see that kind of opposition from 1996, the J.H. Mensah-led opposition. Formidable. Many of the things that they did provided the foundation for building this beautiful country. So we need that. We want to get to a situation where it will not just be a selfish interest by Edu because if a collapsed MPP gives us a free way. But Ghana may suffer. If Ghana suffers, who suffers ultimately? All of us. So we need a formidable opposition. But where in this case, you think the best outcome having lost an election is to have you lead the party, is to have you become the top. And now you are looking for the foundation. You go to somebody's house, he's building. One, he's not sure of the ownership of the land. Meanwhile, he has put a structure and he's now looking to build pillars, the foundation. What will be the outcome of that? And so it may come across as a certain level of desperation. Who are these things targeted at in the various constituencies? Look, in the last MPP primaries, and I say this with all difference, Mr. Ken Ejapon, I mean, his supporters say connected. If you look at his performance, without the benefit of establishment, the support of establishment, and he came out with 36%. Yeah, was it 36%? Exactly. And with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, establishment, everybody whipped in line, did 62. Yeah. Correct. If you have that kind of scenario, you may want to put in words that will assuage the supporters of Ken Ejapon, correct, for the purposes of building a united front.
Well, that is why they...
With the amnesty, go on social media and see what they are doing to each other.
Significantly, we've also done some, well, not subject to any abuse or perhaps disregard to some personalities who could be grouped in, well, certain headlines. So suspended national officer from 2015 following that crisis, Paula Foko, Sami Crab, Kwabena Ejapon has returned. And then we have members who forfeited membership or were expelled, 2023, post all those super delegates and all that. Yabo Abenyasam was a significant guy. You watch him on TV, nobody else will tell you he's a true-bred Damkwabuzia. And then we have...
a foundational member. Put it in perspective.
Okay. And then...
Look, Dr. Bawumia came to MPP in 2007-2008, by which time all these individuals were there. Okay. In fact, the record shows that when he became the running mate, he was not even a member. He had to be given a special dispensation. So put that in proper perspective.
Hopes in Adoye, and nobody will tell you he's none other than MPP. Then we have Nano Hininto, Boniface Abubakar Sadiq, and then we have high-profile personalities like your own Alan John Kojo Chamanting. Is that right?
A man whose money formed the MPP, Damkwabuzia Club.
Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, founding member.
Of course, arguably.
And then others to have run as independent. We have Kwabena Owusu Idiomi, Andrew Amwakwesiama, Nana Kwekudia.
Isiama is back to them.
Yeah, of course. Ohene Kwame Frimpong. I'm talking about people who have had...
look at someone like Nana Ohene
Vincent Sowa Odote, right here.
I'm saying look at someone like Nana Ohene Into.
Kojo Asante, to whom,
a man who rose to become
Cynthia
Mamle
Morrison had a brush with the leadership. Kenneth Crunchy also had as well as some significant people. And you take a look at this and you say that for people like you who form the crust of what we have by the movement for change, somebody will ask, shouldn't ideally be done with you in mind as well as the others who even could be in the party but still feel aggrieved?
You see, MVP is very funny. I think I said on your show about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago that they are not a party without a soul. That the MPP...
Not a party without?
A soul. They don't have a soul. So the MPP is not a party without a soul. It's a party without virtues. It's a party without principle.
How do you mean?
Yeah, I said that about 3 weeks ago. And this, their communique, calling for people who left the party, people did themselves suspended, to come back, gives credence to this soulless party, their arrogance. Yes, you understand? Because how can you attempt to make this call without addressing the fundamental issues? The fundamental issues that caused the people to leave in the first place. You see, you recall when Alan Johnson decided to leave the party, and when he was leaving, he made a categorical statement that he still believed in the principles and the values of the founding fathers of the party, and that the MPP, as it is now, have shifted so radically from those principles that he does not recognize that the people of the MPP do not align to his personal value set principles.
John Kojo Chamante.
Yeah, when he was leaving on the 25th of September last year. Yes, and he made that statement. Indeed, after that, Boache Jako then wrote an article where he said that Alan Chamanten and some of us are people who have openly come out to say that they were leaving the party, but there were millions of people who won't write a letter, who won't organize a press conference, but who have left the party. You see, when we talk about party unity, first of all, what even made people to join the party in the first place? Because people join a party because what attracts them are certain values, are certain principles. That's why we join political parties. We join political parties because and because of some idea, some principles, some values. So that if those ideas, those principles no longer exist in the party, then what will be the bond? What will be the pool? This MPP that claim that they are liberal Democrats, this MPP whose purpose for forming their political party ought to be towards the building of that right, I beg you, the building that right Ghana, where all of our individual ambitions can find a place in. This MPP that have demonstrated that they no longer believe in the rule of law. Was it not the MPP when the Parliament issue came up, the Parliament impasse? You mean before 2024 general before elections? The general elections, when we had that, when Mamli, the cross-carpeting and all those things, Mamli, in spite of the clear terms of their constitution, said that the executives reserve the power, the arbitral power, to decide who would automatically leave or would not automatically leave. Is that not an affront to the principle of the rule of law? The same MPP whose leadership in Parliament, their minority chief whip, employed his members in Parliament to destroy the property of Ghana. The same MPP whose minority chief whip. You mean the vetting program? Yes, employed them to destroy the property of Ghana. The same MPP whose same minority chief whip told the MPP members that when you see your compatriot, a Ghanaian, who happens to be NDC, and there's a fight, there's a disagreement, join the other MPP people to beat them up. What does that got to do with members disgruntled, being suspended, come back? No, the point I'm trying to say is that this MPP have lost the character. They've now become reprobate. Let me ask you this question. They've you take a period of the Kufuor period and then the post-Nanado period and that MPP. Is that a comparison you want to make? All I'm saying is that, so up until President Kufuor, so the MPP had a certain character. We all see it. I ask them, how many times have you heard people say, with an MPP paying? Because you see, every party has a certain spirit. You mean the Daroches, the Ajenim Watis, the philosophy, the belief, the Alan Chamantins, those Sykes and those. Yeah, everybody had a certain character. Everybody had a certain character, and that character made them appealing to certain characters. Because I'm saying that people aggregate around the party when they recognize certain values that they resonate with. Then they go there. Now, when Nana Addo came, he managed to alter that
the
fine
DNA
character. For that's the right word.
The DNA.
He changed the soul of the MPP.
Now they said they are changing. Come back. You are here citing DNA, borrowing for Eduji.
Listen, nothing they've done, but everything they are doing suggests to me that they are drifting further up. In fact, I'm saying that they don't have a soul.
Former MPP, they say come back.
Roland Walker, how can I go to a party that has become reprobate? How can I enter a house that is filled with familiar spirits? How can I join a group?
You will not go back, lawyer Pierre Dankwa.
So if you are my brother,
but
would
you
understand
familiar spirits?
Would you advise me?
Principalities.
Would you advise me if you are my brother?
Prophecies and anti-prophecies.
Would you advise me to go into a possessed house, a house full of familiar spirits? Would you advise me? Roland, you don't like me. Listen, this is it bottom up or up bottom?
Yeah,
bottom up. As in which right-thinking person, which right-thinking party, whose value is the country, would subscribe to this approach? Just a simple thank you talk. I remember their thank you talk. Were people not stabbed? Were people not stabbed? That's what I'm saying. That Roland, my worst enemy won't advise me to enter a house that's full of familiar spirits. The MPP is a party full of familiar spirits. And listen, to the millions of Ghanaians who have been displaced, to the millions of Ghanaians who cannot stay in that house because of the familiar spirits there, I have good news for you. The good news is that a new party filled with the right spirits, a new party fueled by the agenda of liberal Democrats, a new party whose focus is to build that right Ghana, that Ghana that all of our ambitions can find a place in. That party that can give that viable opposition. That party that can hold the feet, that have the credibility to hold the feet of the NDC to the fire. That party that will build Ghana. That party that will hold true the ideals of Ghana. That party is coming.
What's the name of the party?
That party is coming. Oh, do you give name before outdooring? When you give it, you announce the name before outdooring. The name will come. But I'm telling Ghanaians that all those people who can't enter that house because of the familiar spirits, the new house is being built. And very soon, the time will come, and that time is nigh. That party will be opened, that house will be opened. And all of you, instead of going back to this evil spirit, familiar spirit possessed building, you join this house, the new house we are going to build, so that together, all of us, in the spirit of that right political culture, we can have viable debates with our NDC brothers in the spirit of our Ghanaianness.
I see.
And build that Ghana that can take its place as the Black Star of Africa. Forget about MPP. In fact, last year we said they were a dying party. They are a dead party. They don't have a soul. Nobody should heed to this.
But you don't determine that.
Call.
Already on our stream, Yamo says that it looks like Solomon also has entered you.
Solomon has not entered me.
Okay. And then he says that Lawyer Dankwa has killed me today. But just briefly, then we'll go back to Smasapon before we close.
Yeah.
Do you think that this statement comes, or the position that they now hold, amnesty, comes with caveat? People will still be lukewarm about entering. Because, for example, like Kakwe Samoa cites that when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was enacted into the leadership of the party as vice presidential candidate, as announced at Alisa at the time, he wasn't holding membership. And then he came in freely. And so if people are coming, they are dismembered, they are no more members of the party, they should, if they want to aspire, be taken straight up because there's precedent.
Yeah, so that probably takes me back to the earlier question by Lawyer Ediji. And you see, for me, I think that strategy and methodology are not really straitjackets.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes you need to see where you fit, and then probably you could have alterations. And, for the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia case, I think that it was back and forth until, Nana Akufo-Addo insisted that is a particular candidate that he wanted. And then some of the leading members of the party, decided to give that endorsement, which they have to use an executive instrument within their own, constitution, to, as it were, get Dr. Bawumia to be a member. You see, for me, this decision of amnesty being extended, I see that some disgruntled members of the party, whether they are card-bearing members, whether they are sympathizers, whether they are just supporters of the party, might have decided already that they are not coming back.
Why?
Probably because of the level of hate that they've gone through. Probably because of certain decisions that were taken against their expectations. Probably because people felt that the party had not followed certain, procedures to resolve matters. So such people, what can you do? So even if you extend amnesty, all right, such people will not respond. For me, I think that the decision of the National Executive Council, all right, is meant for good. But for me, you cannot mix or grant, your vegetables and all that, without probably sieving them, to get the chaff out. Now, my point is this, that at any point in time when decisions are taken, the merits and demerits of it, you need to critically look at it. But the most important thing is that what actually informed that decision, and as to whether you intend to achieve your purpose or not when you implement such a decision. Now, obviously, some leading members of the party, including Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, have indicated that the problems of the MPP is purely internal politics. All right. And what it means probably is that at a point in time, the party, did not do so much well dealing with certain, issues that actually emerged. Now, with regards to the breakaway of Alan Kyerematen, to form the movement for change, all right. For me, I felt that the MPP could have done so much, to prevent that particular.
You think so?
Yes, I think so. I still.
They were not good overtures?
I still hold that position from the beginning to today. And I think that the future, I'll still maintain that position. All right. Somebody like Nana Oheninto, an astute communicator, a general secretary, a former general secretary, you can't replace such resources. You can't replace them just overnight. You understand? And so it was very unfortunate that, when a party which is supposed to probably work with numbers are actually, reducing their numbers.
By the actions?
By the actions. In marketing, right, we believe in customer loyalty. And there are different wings of customer loyalty.
And retention.
Yes. Loyalty means retention, okay, because loyalty is an advanced form of retention. Now, what it means is that there's a theory we call the leaky bucket theory, all right, which means that at every point in time when you collect water in a bucket that is leaking, you end up not collecting, or probably halfway, depending on where the leak is, all right. Now, what it means is that if political parties would function based on numbers, then it is like just collecting water in a bucket. All right. What it means is that you must be able to deal decisively, with all the leaks, so that as and when you recruit, your supporters, you maintain them, you move them from one level to another, on the ladder, all right? And you move them from just mere voters to party advocates. So you develop them. It's a conscious effort, to get Lawyer Dankwa to vote for your party for the first time. Then in subsequent times, you grow Lawyer Dankwa to become an advocate as he's doing for Alan Tramatin.
Okay.
You still want him to join the MPP, isn't it? This is an invitation, an official.
He doesn't like me.
You know how they say it.
He doesn't like me.
He doesn't
like me.
No, I've not ended.
They are not going back to
Do
Missouri.
you want to come and moderate the show, please? Talk.
They are not going back to Missouri.
So what I'm saying is that, you see, for me, it will be very good that, replicating, political marketing theories into the day-to-day strategy of any political party, including the MPP. Your house should be in order. There should be that level of leadership. Do you understand? That at any point in time, competencies, all right, decisiveness, leadership with strength, leadership which is independent, can work for the party. And what I am tempted to believe, Roland, sometimes you look at certain things that happen within the political environment, and one thing that normally takes away the shine of political parties, all right, normally has to do with factions within the party. I don't think that MPP and NDC started with factions. It was just a group of people who came together with one understanding, belief, values, and which translated into a political party. So why can't these political parties at any point in time hold their unity? And as and when the party is advancing and developing at a point in time for the purposes of personal interest, for the purposes of powers, you see various camps developing. And normally when it happens like that, that is where the strength of the party weakens. All right. And so for me, I think that, yes, the MPP has extended amnesty. All right. But this is how I look at it. Some people may come, others will not come. I also feel that this publication or this communique should have waited. In the first place, you could have gone to the identified disgruntled members, speak with them, convince them, get them to join without putting some of these invitation to the public domain. All right, for me, I believe that leadership is more than any other thing that any political party will want to have.
Okay. Professor Smart Sapon, your last words.
Oh, Roland, it's unfortunate to know. I just needed about 5 minutes to touch on a few things. So, for example, one, we all know innovation. My brother Ediji was asking about the method of research that one will want to use to explore new ideas. Perhaps an exploratory type of study can allow for people to do new things just to see what might come out of it. So it is allowed in social research. Then number two, what is happening is a transient stage.
So
all right, it happens to almost every political party. Even the CPP and Roland, am I on?
Fantastic. Forget about the noises that have been the noises. I'm quoting from the suspended Chief Justice, the noises. Please go ahead.
So in the CPP, you realize there sometimes will come conflicts. This person says, I've resigned, break away, and all those things. Even in the NDC, Way back, I'm not even talking about now, way back where we felt traditions were quite at their peak. You get people like Gustitano and all those people. In the MPP, you remember, Reku Brobe and all those things. So it's like where humans come together, satisfaction becomes a very hard-reaching activity. One thing would affect the other. Even when you have genuine mindset, thinking you are doing this from a free heart in the interest of your party, some people may find issues with it. And so I think it is one of those things. Then we have recruitment. You remember at the point, somebody, my brother, may his soul rest in peace, Omanebo Ama was not in NDC. He was carefully recruited. If the argument is raised that at that point he didn't have a party card and all those things, I think we are then discounting the involvement of recruitment, strategic recruitment. That is a very founded, solid theory in politics from being implemented in our time. I think that going forward, if any political party identifies somebody, a non-politician, whatsoever, a technocrat, and feels that if I should recruit him into this stage, maybe running mate or elsewhere, we should encourage than to say that because it is so with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and some founding members were there. Why were they not picked and all those things? Then we are actually turning down existing, hard-founded existing theories that allow strategic recruitment of technocrats into our political dispensation. Then the very last one I would like to talk about is that I know the extension is not an automatic extension. You can't force anybody who doesn't want to belong to you to belong to you. But for the sake of maybe the records, perhaps that is why they have done that.
Okay.
I also agree with the last speaker who said backstage consultations and all those things it should be done. I want to believe that even at the instant of their agitations or disgruntlement, some consultations were done, only that perhaps the people made up their mind they will still go. For those that were available but were suspended, I still think that they should still pursue them, go to Afoko, go to Nano Hininto and all those people. You keep talking to them. If they will come, fine. If they will not come, fine. But as if it is quite new and all those things. No, my own brother, Koko Anido, who was a deputy general secretary.
Yeah.
All right. But issues come, issues go. I remember the central regional chairman, my uncle Alote Jacobs. Issues come, issues go. It's a human institution. And some of these things, when they come, the way the political commentary comes around it, familiar spirit and all those things. But it's fine, I mean. So thank you, Roland.
Professor Smart Sapon, known pollster, but also, please, your organization, what's the name for your polling organization?
I'm
writing it. Please hold on.
Run the polls.
Please hold on. Professor Smart Sapon, you said the organization is called what?
No, I work for government. I am the Director of Research and Innovation at the Kumasi Technical University. I take interest once in a while to do those national polls and other social...
So you don't have an organization that does the polling?
I don't really run parallel. I dedicate full-time for the university, Kumasi Technical University.
I understand that. That's the Kumasi Technical
University.
KTU?
Yes, please.
Okay.
KSTU. KTU is Kofodia.
Okay, KSTU.
Our kid brothers, our junior brothers.
Thank you very much. Director, Research and Innovation.
Yes, please.
And your organization is called what again for the polling?
Dr. Smart.
Oh, like I said, I don't run.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Smart Sapon. So this one is coming from Gaiji, and we know Gaiji is with the connected camp. He says amnesty was Ken's proposal during the thank you tour. Okay, and he said Aduji knows what time it is. This is the connected time. He has done justice to the issue, irrespective of the political sides that they are, and then others as well. But thank you, gentlemen. For coming as well. You've done justice to the subject, even though, of course, so next week by this time you'll be returning to the MPP. The amnesty is, well, if you want to...
No, would the MPP return to TV3 as part of the amnesty?
Well, we have open arms if they want to return.
Then you to give them amnesty.
No, we didn't take any decision.
Very well.
They decided to withdraw based on their own volition.
Symptoms of familiar spirit.
But the platform, just like the history of TV3 has been since 1997 when it was established, has been open to all sides of the political divide. And I've been associated with this company long enough to know all those who, whether it's from Jacob, BJV, Lamte, etc., who have been great friends or Hinento over the years. So,
you know, your advert on hot issues always has Nanado on it.
Nanado, yeah.
Your advert on hot issues. Yes,
the promo.
Just for the record. Just for the record.
Johnny's Bite also has a lot of them also in his promo as well. Ayaduji. And if you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. So Woodin is offering amazing collection of authentic African fabrics all ready to wear, coming in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. Now with Woodin, you can get creative and versatile with your designs. Be significant, confident, and show off how truly African you are in Woodin. So go to a Woodin boutique today or close to you. From all that they have variety of trendy products to complement your unique style. So follow them also across social media. Go search for Woodin Fashion across. And Delight Mojaka, for example, celebrated the birthday. It's a countdown, 24 hours. Okay, Ebo Bachman, I've seen you. Ebo Bachman, return to the MPP. He said I can worry you. Yes, Ebo Bachman, return to Philip London. You're still with the MPP, right? No.
I see you don't like us.
We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest in sports, but also tell you we have cash out. It goes with the Shoko star 439#. That's what you need to do. Choose option 2. Increase the number of tickets you have. Become one of those lucky winners. We're taking a break. We'll be right back with sports.